And straight to a Fox News alert, an investigation underway after 2 Israeli diplomats are killed in a shooting outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum in D.C.
So the suspect, who's in custody now, could be heard shouting "Free Palestine" as he was being hauled away.
Right, and by the way, didn't try to get away. Lucas Tomlinson is in Washington with the latest. Lucas.
Well, good morning, guys. The couple worked at the Israeli embassy in Washington and were shot and killed at the Capitol Jewish Museum just a few blocks from the U.S. Capitol by a gunman who, as Lawrence just said, yelled, "Free, free Palestine."
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
And the woman who took that video will be joining Fox and Friends later this morning. The victims are Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. The embassy posted this photo of the couple who are supposed to be engaged, and calling them friends and colleagues, and described the shooter as a terrorist. President Trump posting, "These horrible D.C. killings, based obviously on anti-Semitism, must end now. Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Condolences to the families of the victims. So sad that such things as this can happen. God bless you all." And here's Trump's Attorney General, Pam Bondi.
State, local, and federal agencies and our great U.S. Attorney, Jeanine Pirro, who will be prosecuting this case, will be doing everything in our power to keep all citizens safe, especially tonight our Jewish community. We will follow the facts, we will follow the law, and this defendant, if charged, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu posting, "My heart aches for the families of the beloved young man and young woman whose lives were abruptly cut short by a despicable anti-Semitic murderer. I have instructed to strengthen security arrangements at Israel's missions worldwide and the protection of the state's representatives." Here's Israel's ambassador to the United States on the couple.
The couple that was gunned down tonight in the name of Free Palestine. It's a young couple about to be engaged. The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem. Together we won't be afraid, together we'll stand, and we're going to overcome moral depravity of people who think that they're going to achieve political gains through murder.
D.C. police have ID'd the shooter as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago. A spokeswoman at the Israeli embassy just said yesterday she was laughing with Yaron and Sarah over coffee, and now all that remains was that photo. And instead of walking down the aisle, she said, "We are walking with you to your graves, guys."
Brian?
So Lucas, can I ask you a quick question? The shooting happens outside. This gunman not only doesn't try to walk away, he walks in inside. And then that's where we pick up the video. Anything else about his behavior? And why do you think that people think he acted alone?
It was interesting, Brian. It did not appear that the suspect was tackled. Perhaps that happened earlier in the video. We just didn't see it. But the shooter, he, according to our last guest on Fox and Friends First, went to the University of Illinois. And it's interesting, he's dressed very casually. His name is Elias Rodriguez, 30 years old. Just don't know enough about him at the time. But the fact that he was able to sit there and yell at the press, I think some people might take umbrage with that.
All right, Lucas, thank you so much. It's hard to watch that video knowing he allegedly just gunned down a couple that was about to be engaged in a hateful act, and then walks inside and starts chanting that after he had just taken 2 lives, allegedly.
We're going to be learning more information about this attack, who he was connected with, what chatter was online, what was his digital footprint.
How he became radicalized.
Did he make any foreign trips? But there's something that I think is pretty much the elephant in the room is, because I've been on these college campuses, they've been chanting Free Palestine, taking over campuses for a while, Brian. And what I'm afraid is that Free Palestine is becoming the new Allah Akbar. These kids don't understand what they've been chanting. They've been having these keffiyehs on, but there are certain members, it appears, that are becoming radical. What do our intelligence agents know about that, and what are we going to do to crack down on that? Should be the objective of the administration this morning, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, it looks random, but it doesn't look like the event is random. They know where to find Jewish Americans. or Jews, and that's why he went. Number two is immediately you have to worry about other embassies, other sites. I know Ambassador Danon is going to be on with us shortly. Governor Huckabee also, now Ambassador Huckabee in Israel, has got to worry about all Israeli and U.S. embassies around the world. And I know we're going to respond to that pretty strongly. But I do say this, I think it's also noteworthy that immediately, this is a hands-on administration. Judge Janine Pirro was on the scene to go see exactly what happened, what led to it, so you don't need second or third-hand accounts, Ainsley.
Right. We know with her at the helm, this will be taken care of. That guy, if he is convicted, he'll be locked up for a very long time, if not worse. The event was hosted by the American Jewish Committee, the AJC. It was for young Jewish professionals in foreign policy. And here's the irony. They were there to hear a panel discussion focused on finding humanitarian solutions for Gaza. So if you have a problem with what's happening in the war between Israel and Hamas, why would the solution be to come to America and shoot two individuals who happen to just be from Israel and representing Israel? Let's bring in Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danon. He is with us this morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us. I know you posted yesterday on X or in the middle of the night, you said the shooting was a depraved act of anti-Semitic terrorism, harming diplomats, and the Jewish community is crossing a red line. We are confident that the U.S. authorities will take strong action against those responsible for this criminal act. That's in part what you wrote. So what do you want the U.S. authorities to do?
Well, we expect actions, not only declarations. You know, I trust our allies that they will take actions against the guy who committed this horrific crime, but it's not enough. We need to look at the incitement. You know, we have spoken about it in the past, what's happening today on campuses, you know, chanting, death to Israel, death to the Jewish people. You know, Jewish students are not safe anymore. That must stop. You know, I believe that the universities became the place where you have the incitement spread all over, and not only on campuses. I can tell you at the United Nations, only this week, we heard UN official blaming Israel for committing a genocide, for killing 14,000 Palestinian babies. Horrible lies spread out, and I think we have to fight the incitement, not only the terrorists to commit those crimes.
You know, Mr. Ambassador, some of the hostages that were held said that there was some communication between the people that are on these college campuses in these groups and Hamas. We hear the stuff that they've been saying on the college, calling for a global intifada. Do you worry that our ignorance to what was happening on the college campus has now turned to terror? Do you have any intelligence from your side that you have shared with the United States that says these are dangerous hotbeds that we have just allowed to roam our streets?
We are sharing all the intelligence we have with our counterparts in DC, and I agree with you. You know, it's all connected. It's pure hate. When you hear the Iranian leaders inciting to destroy the Jewish nation, the Jewish people, and then you hear those chanting on campuses, and you see that the leadership of the universities, they sit idly by. They ignore it. Well, if you ignore it, that's what happened last night. You allow those crazy lunatics taking actions against innocent Americans. You know, we came to learn about diplomacy. Today, it was not an attack against us. It was an attack against the American values. And I'm sure that our partners will know how to fight it and how to make sure that the Jews will feel safe again in the U.S.
Yeah, you could directly draw a line from what's happening on campuses. And keep in mind, this guy's 30 years old, and Mahmoud Khalil is 30 years old. This is what he said, Ambassador. When the cops came to him, he said, "I did this. Sir, I'm unarmed," which is a lie. He puts his hands up, he grabs a red kafid out of his pocket and started to chant Free Palestine. He's proud of it. What's consistent with that with October 7th? They are proud of it. If there are people caught in the crossfire and there are people die, innocent people die, the Israelis investigate and they apologize. It's never the intention. With the Palestinians and Hamas, it's the intention. That's a major difference. People seem to be forgetting.
Absolutely, Brian. And moreover, you should look at the way everything was planned. You know, 4 days ago, we had a huge parade here in New York City, and thousands of cops, you know, brave cops, stood with us and protected the parade on Fifth Avenue. But these terrorists depict a small event. You know, you have those events every night in hundreds of locations nationwide. So it's going to be very hard to protect all the events, all the synagogues, all the Jewish centers in the United States. That's why we have to go after the incitements, after the root of the hate. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to protect every Jewish center here.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank
Our
you so
thoughts
much.
and our
Thank you very
prayers are
much.
with
Thank you
these
for
two
the
Israeli families.